Hi, 6th grade. It's time for English. Time to get your notebook out and let's begin. You will need pens and highlighters to take accurate and legible notes in your notebook. This will be taken for a grade, so feel free to pause the video anytime you need to make sure that you have everything that is required. Please label your notebooks 8.3 Subjects and Predicates, page 301. Let's begin. A complete subject includes all the words that tell whom or what a sentence is about. Hint: in many cases, it's all the words before the verb. A complete predicate consists of a verb and all the words that modify the verb and complete its meaning. Hint: in many cases, it's the verb and all the words that come after the verb. Pause the video and copy down your definitions and any hints. Here is our example for both subject and predicate. The beautiful flower garden is full of purple, yellow, and orange flowers. In my experience with my 6th grade students, it has been easier for us to find the verb first, and you'll see why in a little bit. In my example, is the verb, and it is a state of being verb, which we will cover in a future lesson. If you use the definitions that you should have written in your notebook, the complete predicate is the verb and the words that follow. This means that is full of purple, yellow, and orange flowers is the complete predicate for this example. The words beautiful flower garden end up being our complete subject. So you can see why it's important to find the verb first. If you can find the verb, you have the words on either side of the verb and including the verb that make up the complete subject and complete predicate. Now let's try a couple examples and see if you can determine the verb, which will lead you to the complete predicate and complete subject. You don't need to write these down, but do try to determine the complete subject and complete predicate in these examples. My favorite comic strip is Peanuts by Charles Schulz. Charles Schulz drew Peanuts for almost 50 years. His drawings of Charlie Brown and his friends appear in many newspapers today. Pause the video and determine what is the verb, the complete predicate, and a complete subject. Hint: use your notes. In sentence 1, the verb is, you guessed it, is. Since you know that the predicate includes the verb and all the words that follow the verb, the complete predicate is Peanuts by Charles Schulz. This leaves all the words that are before the verb as the complete subject. Using your notes, let's find the verb. Well, what's the action? The action is drew, making drew the verb. We know that the complete predicate includes the verb and all the words that follow, so that makes drew peanuts for almost 50 years the complete predicate. We also know that the words before the verb are the complete subject, making Charles Schulz the complete subject. Last example. What is the verb or the action? The action is appear. And all the words that come after the verb that include the verb appear in many newspapers today, making this part the, you got it, complete predicate. Now for the complete subject, all the words that are before the verb up to the verb, which makes his drawings of Charlie Brown and his friends the complete subject. Well, how did you do? I bet you did great. Time to move on. Okay, now it's time to take things to the next level. It's definition time. Simple subject is the main or main words in the complete sentence. Hint: it's a noun or pronoun. The simple subject can also be the complete subject. The simple predicate is always the verb, along with any helping or auxiliary and linking verbs. The simple predicate can also be the complete predicate. Example: I can. Can is the verb, making it the simple and complete predicate. The word I, which comes before the verb, is the complete and simple subject. Let's practice finding the simple subject and simple predicate with some familiar sentences. Just as I'm using two colors to represent subjects and predicates, you should do the same thing in your notebook. You can use highlighters for that, or you can use different color pens. Now we're looking for the simple predicate. Well, the simple predicate from our definition is the verb. So the verb is. That's the simple predicate. Now if we want to find the simple subject, we say who or what is. So I'm saying who or what plus the verb. In this case, who or what is the comic strip is. So the comic strip is the simple subject. Next example, we have Charles Schulz drew peanuts for almost 50 years. What is the verb? The verb is drew. So drew is the simple predicate. What is the subject? Ask yourself who or what plus the verb. Drew, who drew? Charles Schulz drew. So Charles Schulz, his full name, would be the simple subject. In the last example, it would be a little trickier to find the subject, but I'll show you how. The verb, as we saw before, is appear. So appear is the verb, which makes it the simple predicate. Then we ask ourselves who or what appears. Well, you might be tempted to say Charlie Brown, but Charlie Brown didn't appear. The drawings of Charlie Brown appeared. So drawings is actually the simple subject. Of Charlie Brown and his friends is a prepositional phrase, and a subject is not found in a prepositional phrase. Now please copy at least one of these sentences and label it as I have so you have a complete example. Your task is to copy the sentences 1 through 4 that are listed in the graphic. Leave yourself some space so you have plenty of room to underline, highlight, label, however you're going to make sure that you can identify the complete subject, the complete predicate, the simple subject, and the simple predicate. Be sure to have neat and legible notebooks that are complete and ready for class tomorrow so you can receive notebook credit and so we can practice the skill and continue on with the skill. If you do not have the work completed, you will receive a homework notice. But I don't think that will be an issue because I have awesome students.